The purpose of this video is to review how to find information on the class site, especially if it's been a while since the class in which we covered whatever material you happen to be looking for. For the purposes of this tutorial or demonstration, I'm going to be using the English 9 class site, but all of my class sites have the same setup and the same color scheme and everything. It's just the content that changes, and that's to help people if you're in this one class of mine and go to another class, then everything works the same and you don't have to be reintroduced to it. So we're going to use the English 9 class site, but this will be the same for any of my other classes. So come on to the main site. There are a couple ways to find information. Anything that is fairly recent is on the front page, so the last 7 classes are on the front page, and you can scroll down to see those. If you want to go further back in time, at the very bottom you can click to see older posts, and I believe it takes you back to the next oldest 7, and so you can go back and forth like that. I'm going to take myself back to the main page, and I'll scroll back up to the top. So if you're on the main page and you want to find something that was not within the last 7 days, there are a few ways to go about that. The first is a new feature that I've put at the top of the blog, which is called Search the Blog. And if you want to find a lesson, you can type this in and use this part of the blog like a search engine. So something that this class did was we talked about social sanctions, and so if I wanted to find material related to sanctions, I can type sanctions and do a search. This is part of the problem with this search feature. I know we've talked a lot about sanctions and that I've mentioned it on the blog, and the search does not return any results. I don't understand why that happens, and that's why I would caution people against using the Search the Blog feature. I have it there because sometimes it works and it's really fast and efficient and wonderful, but I've found that about half the time it'll return no results on things that I know I found. So let's try this. I know the last post I did was on Janet Yellen, so I'm going to even just search Janet Yellen and see if it'll give me a result. So this is an example of the search being rather difficult. I can see right here there's a post that uses Janet Yellen's name, and it's not giving me results. So just to show how the feature works, I know that I mentioned homework is listed on every site, every page. So I'm going to type homework in just so you can see what it looks like when we do get results. And so it's found about 3 pages worth of posts where the word homework comes up, even though this comes up on every blog page. So down at the bottom there are the numbers 1, 2, 3, and you can click those numbers to load different pages of results. When you're done with a search, you simply go up here to the X in the upper right hand corner and close out of the search. Sometimes the Search the Blog is a really effective tool and it'll return just the post you're looking for, but if it does not return a post, then I would recommend using some of these other strategies that I will now go over. So if you look on the right hand side of the post, there's this blog archive where it lists all of the posts that have been made so far. Sometimes these are collapsed or extended into the full list, but you can look back on these. So if I wanted to see posts that were made in 2013, it gives me all of the 2013 months that we've been in school, and you can drop down whichever menus you want. So if something was from quite a while ago, you know it was around October, you could drop the October list and kind of look at the post titles. I try to give titles, site titles, ones that make sense for what we did in class that day and relative to large assignments that we were working on to help people navigate the day more quickly. For this, let's go back to that example where I was talking about social sanctions. I know that we were dealing with social sanctions right at the end of the second quarter, so it might have started in December. I'm going to use the December drop down. There I see sanctions appearing, and so I'm just going to search down here and just read all of the titles that mention sanctions. So this, I can see this is poetry out loud pieces, poems, and here's where social sanctions seem to start. So what you can do is use the post titles to hone in on what you're looking for. And then let's say I'm looking for something from the very beginning of the social sanctions. You can right-click on a title and say open link in new tab, and open maybe 2 or 3 of these, and then once you've got a variety open, you can go in and look at each individual post and see if it has what you want. So if you're looking for a specific assignment, this is just the introduction, so there's no assignment. So let's say that doesn't have what I want. I'll close that tab out. I'm going to look at this one. This has some scenarios we did, a reading schedule, and here are some sheets that the class was using for tracking. So these were the sheets I was looking for. I just found them, and I can close out the other tab because I know I've already found what I'm looking for. You can click on these and open them just like in the other video covers, and then print these out. So one way is to hone in on the particular day by looking at the titles and then open a variety of those days to see what's useful. If you're having trouble even remembering which series of a few days it might have been based on the title, it is possible to go up and click on the month name. And if you click on the month name, it will load a page with all of the posts from that month. And so then you could go and skim these posts and read through them, see if you can pick up on what you're looking for. Another way to do this and have the computer help you in this is to stay right at the top of the page. And let's just say again that I was looking for that sanctions paper. And I can hit Command F. If you're on a Mac, it's Command F. If you're on a PC, it's Control F. And if you push Control F or Command F down at the same time, you get this find box in the lower left-hand corner. Sometimes it's up here in the upper right-hand corner, depending on what you're using for a browser. And then you can search a word, and the web browser will tell you where that word occurs on the page. So let's say I'm just searching sanctions. It will highlight the word, and then if that's not what I was looking for, I can hit next, and it'll find the next time that word occurred. And you can keep hitting next, and it'll just walk you through all instances of that word, skipping over unrelated material until you find what you're looking for. Let's see if I can get myself brought back to those posts before. Oh, so it's down here, it's highlighting sanctions, but if I was looking for those sanction sheets, it brought them into focus for me. So it's a way to travel through the page and find information that's meaningful. So that would be one way that I would recommend, and that probably works better than the search the blog feature. If you can, hone in on specific days by looking at the title of the post, or at least click on one of the months and then do Control F or Command F and see if you can find the words associated with that post. If you're really hard up for finding something, feel free to get in touch with me by email or come in and see me and ask where something occurs on the blog, and I can help you find it. But really, searching by month and then doing Control F will help you find whatever material you're looking for. But that's a basic way to find information on the blog.